connected, but there were a bunch of us that lived with Mark, and there were a bunch of us that ran track with Mark, and then there were people who went to New York with him, and what other groups are there here?
Drank with Mark.
Drinking with Mark.
That's probably all everybody in here at some point.
And there's lots of girlfriends.
Hey, there's people that were RAs with him in the dorm.
That's right.
Oh, he was an RA?
He was.
He was drunk.
Can you believe that?
He had to keep Belleville under control. So, you know, I lived with Mark in D40, and that's where Mark was RA. And then afterwards, when I got done with college, Mark and I drove out to Vail, Colorado, where Jay Legrand lives. And Jay lived on D40 with us. And I know several people in here who Jay was like our brother. And then I moved back to Portland, and Mark was living with Nani, and I lived with Nani and G, and we lived in this apartment over in Irving, over in the Pearl Street, Pearl District. And when we were there, it was kind of a new frontier. And some years later, Mark and I went and saw this movie called Drugstore Cowboy. You guys ever see that movie?
Well, there's the director right there, Sam.
Yeah. So, the story of that movie is there's these drug addicts and they're living in this house and they get busted by the cops. Or
No hats on the bed.
And they basically get thrown out of this house and they move into this really like terrible apartment building. And G and I are looking at the building and go, that's where we live. And that's where Nani lived. And right across the street, that's where they had the surveillance, because they were like, you know, when they went into the apartment building, they were still, and that's where, was it Mary Bascom lived over there. It was the craziest thing. And I guess they took the money from the movie and they fixed the place up, and I went by there today, so I wanted to go see it, and it actually looks pretty great.